On the island of Newfoundland, upon the southwest coast, lies the little town of Virgil, to whom I'll sing this toast. There are so many highlands that lie just off her shore, and when the cold north wind blows, you can hear the billows roar. The people from the village make their living from the sea. They like their independence, it shows that they are free. Some fish in their small boats in the wind, the rain and sleet, while others make their living on the offshore trawler fleet. They've known their share of tragedies down through the years, and when the memories overcome, they show their grief with tears. For they have lost some loved ones to the furies of the seas, for heartaches and heartbreaks are locked in memories. This village, it's got beauty carved on its rugged shore. 7 miles of pure white sand, who could ask for more? The mountains and the valleys where the rivers run so fast, and the salmon rise to the sportsman's fly as he makes another cast. Tell the people of this village love their native home, for anyone who goes away most surely will return. Just like that lifelong mystery, the answer you won't know. What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul? What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul?
Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have child fine cards, work on eco-ice system, water system update, Santa Sea Committee. Please stay tuned for these stories after this. Try your luck and play TV bingo on Wednesday, sponsored by the Minor Hockey League. Cards are 6 for $5 and can be bought from any member of Minor Hockey or in most stores around town. Do you know that about 40,000 children go missing a year? Foodland is now selling child fine cards until October the 29th. Cards cost $2, which is donated to a charity. You would purchase your card kit at Foodland and fill in the back of your card with your child's information, their fingerprints, medical information, a DNA sample, usually a strand of hair, and a recent picture. Once all the information is complete, you store the card in a safe place in case you need it quickly. I went and had a look at the work that is being done with the eco-ice system. Young's Industrial Refrigeration is in charge of the project. On Friday, an official from the government came out to inspect it and pass the work. The system is almost completely installed. Inside the arena, I will show the system that will blow the cold air into the arena. One is pointing down the rink and one is pointing up the rink, which will use Freon to make the room to about -5 degrees Celsius. During colder periods, the system will be shut off and vents will open to bring the cold air in and fans to take the warm air out. The system is expected to be up and running by November 15th. Mayor Gerald McDonald came by the studio to give us an update on the water system. Good evening. In our studio tonight, we have our Mayor, Gerald McDonald. Good evening.
Good evening, Maxine.
And congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you very much.
So, any news now on the water treatment plant and everything's coming along with that?
On the water treatment system, and basically we had a meeting yesterday, which was Tuesday, 11 a.m. yesterday morning with the contractors and the engineers, and they gave us a briefing and a update of they're in the stage now of commissioning the system, and while they're at that, and this is why I want to drop in and have a chat, because we're going to experience some problems.
Okay.
And I believe the town manager have already put a notice on BBS stating that you're going to get dirty water for a while and possibly bubbles or low pressure or high pressure, whatever.
Okay.
So there's going to be problems. So that's where we're to with the water treatment system. We're in the stage now of commissioning the system. So water's got to go through the new pipes in the building, and that could create bubbles in the system. In regards to the water tank itself, that was completed last weekend.
Okay.
I think Monday, to be sure. And the tank has got to have 7 days now to cure.
Okay.
And what we mean by that is the tank has to, the proxy or urethane that was used to seal the tank has got to dry out.
Okay.
Now the tank itself inside is just like looking in a glass bottle. It's all shiny.
Okay.
Now, once the tank is cured, which will be Monday coming, then we have to wash the tank. So then the water will be going through the water treatment plant, going into the tank.
Okay.
It'll enter the tank at the top, and it'll be a spray form, spray the sides of the tank to wash it down.
Okay.
And they'll allow 2 feet of water to go in the tank at the bottom. And then they'll put a Javix or a bleach in there to wash the tank.
Okay.
Now, the tank have already been vacuumed out with vacuum, and the tank will be washed, and then that'll be just released and drained off. And then the same day, I guess they'll start putting water in the tank, in which they can only put 10 feet per day.
Okay.
10 feet each day, so it's going to take at least 5 days to fill the tank. And the reason for that is you've got to pressurize the tank, and I guess he's going to, So hopefully within 2 weeks that we will have water, treated water, coming from the plant to the tank out into town.
Okay.
And even when that's done, we'll probably experience a bit of dirt. The water will be white, really white. You might experience a bit of dirt in the water, but over time that'll clear.
Okay.
And we shouldn't have any bubbles or pressure, air bubbles coming into our lines at our homes,
Okay.
because that was the sole purpose of the tank.
Okay.
The tank is vented at the top, and the air or the gas will release itself at the top. So overall, it should be a good system. It's one of the most modern on the go, as far as I understand it, and I think once it's all said and done, we'll have good water. It's been a long haul, 8 years, but eventually I think we'll end up with good water.
Okay. Very good. Mentioning your new appointment, how many people are on council now?
Right now, there's 4 of us on council.
Okay.
There's myself and Junior Strickland, Deputy Mayor, and Councillor Stan Domley, and Councillor John Crant.
Okay.
And we got to have a by-election in the very near future. Well, actually, today is Wednesday. We got a council meeting tonight, and we'll set a date for the by-election tonight at the meeting. And hopefully we'll get some people to come forward. Because, Maxine, I know all around the province they're having difficulty to getting counselors, and I heard
Okay.
Brian Button on this morning from Portabass, and he said the same thing. But we got to push forward. Our town, we got to maintain our infrastructure, and we got to rebuild on it. And you've got to have a council to do that, because you've got to have somebody there to push the agenda for the town. Unless you got that, nothing gets done.
Okay. Are there any particular qualifications that a person, say, would need to become a town councillor?
No, not really. You got to be a resident of the town, and the outstanding taxes got to be paid and that sort of thing. But there's nothing that there's nothing very drastic to become a councillor. And you know, I wish that every time there's a council that there would be enough people come forward that it would trigger an election, and councillors would be elected by the general public. And I believe in the future, your mayor should be elected by the public as well. And that way there would be more interest if people come forward.
Yes.
And I believe we cause the by-election now in the next week or so, then I want to encourage people to come out and get involved. Just trying to help your community and keep moving forward. And we got to have it. Without council, we go nowhere.
But how many people should be on council?
A full slate of council is seven members.
Okay.
Yep.
That would include yourself as mayor?
The mayor and 6 councillors.
Okay.
That would be a full slate. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you would like to add, Drew?
No, the only thing I can add, I guess, you know, is the water system hopefully will be put behind us in the next couple, 3 weeks. And when I come in here to talk, I can talk about other things, because over the last 8 years we've had a lot of problems trying to get this on stream. And Mayor Ann and Mayor Reed have worked hard in trying to get this put in place. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll see good results from that.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome, Maxine. The only other thing I would like to add is, now we got a council meeting tonight. Now I'm leaving town tomorrow morning on personal business. I won't be back till Monday, so I won't have a council report for this weekend.
Okay.
I'll get it on for next weekend.
Okay.
So
That'll be good. I'm sure the town will look forward to
yes.
hearing a report.
So I'll drop by once it gets back next week.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Doris Pink came by the studio to talk about the newly formed Sand and Sig Committee and their upcoming plans. Good evening. In our studios tonight, I have with me Doris Pink, who is the chairperson of the new Sand and Sea Committee. Good evening, Doris.
Hi, Maxine.
And so you got a new committee started up?
Yes, we have. Actually, it's a joint group of lions and lioness.
Okay.
The Sand and Sea Committee, and I guess the reason, I should say first off, the reason we formed is because the Sand and Sea Committee did such a wonderful job bringing this festival to our town that we didn't think we could afford to let it go. Like, it was just too good for the businesses, too good for the people, too good for tourism in the town as a whole.
Yes.
And then there was a message on television looking for new members, you know, and they didn't have a very favorable response, I don't think. And, you know, and you can't blame that committee for quitting. They've been at it 15 years,
Yes.
and that's a lot of time to commit to it. But really it was the Lions' idea, I think, that maybe they should try it as a project and ask the Lioness to come on board with them. So that's where it came from.
Oh, okay. So, but how many new members do you have?
Well, we, at our first meeting on, well, we had a sort of meeting to see if there was any interest on Sunday, and there seemed to be some interest. So then we actually had a committee meeting on Monday night, and I think there's 6 Lioness members, and I think it's 7 Lions members. Now, I'm the chairperson. Max, my husband, Max Pink, is the co-chair,
Okay.
and Norm Strickland from the Lions Club is the treasurer.
Okay.
Okay.
So can members from outside of those committees join as well, or?
Well, I think, you know, like with 13, and of course, now Edie Marsden is she's a Lioness member. She's also a member of the committee, and she was a member of the old Sand and Sea Committee. And, you know, and we've also got Anne Brayan with the Lioness Club, who, you know, was a long time committee member. And, you know, their committee has never been this big, so they seem to think that as a committee goes, we should be okay. Right
Okay.
now, we will be wanting lots of help from the community as Sand and Sea approaches, you know, like, and I have no idea, you know, what's involved in that yet. We're just very, very new, right? So,
Oh, okay.
but like, you know, that you would see reams of people up parking vehicles and selling tickets and all those kinds of things. So I'm sure, you know, we'll be looking for volunteers in those areas as well.
Okay, very good. What kind of activities do you have planned so far, Doris?
Well, you know, we don't have a big pot of money to fall back on to be bringing in, you know, local bands from outside, stuff like that. So that's one reason that we're probably going to be sticking with pretty much local talent. And the other reason is because I think we should. You know, I think people are coming to Burgeo, to our Sand and Sea Festival. I think it's a good chance to highlight local talent as much as possible. So that's the direction our committee is going with this. And I think we have, well, I'm pretty sure we have Route 480 booked for the Saturday night dance at the arena. Travis Sternford has agreed to do one of the afternoons at the park. Now, you know, scheduling is not in place yet. Probably for our opening if things work out as we plan. And we've got Clayt and Travis who's going to, they're going to host a talent night similar to the BBS bandwagon that you used to have here,
Okay.
right? Now, it'll be up to the committee members between now and then to get some people in place who would like to perform on talent night at the park. It'll still be open to people, you know, sitting in the audience, if anybody wants to come up, but, you know, we'd like to have some things lined up. So if there's anybody out there listening right now who says, this is a good chance for me, well, you should contact me, or you can contact Max Dunford. Max Dunford's also on the committee.
Okay.
And I think his number is 3361, but I'm not sure about that anyway, but you have lots of time. So if you're really would be interested in doing a song or two, playing an instrument, you know, on talent night, we're open for it, and we'd like to get that. I mean, that's the start of our festival. That's the first night, and we'd like to get it started with a bang, right? So that's lined up. See, some of the other things. I think our screeching in will go ahead as usual, stuff like that. You know, like a lot of the stuff that the Sand and Sea Committee had in place before, we're just hoping to, you know, jump right onto that. But we're also hoping to build on it a little bit. Like, you know, we've gotten more committee members, and we've got the Lions and the Lioness clubs to fall back on as well. So we'd really like to have more activities for the kids, you know, like, you know, some of the things that the Lions used to use at their summer fair, you know, the wheels and the mini golf and stuff like that. We'd like that to happen at the park as part of the Sand and Sea Festival. Right now, there's nobody that does a meal on Saturday. Right now, the Lioness do a hot beef supper on Thursday, and I haven't been talking to the ACW yet, but they always do the potluck on Friday, and I'm assuming they still will. But like, there's nobody does anything on Saturday, right? And you know, if you go to a lot of those festivals, and you know, there is a meal every day. So I really like it. You know, I don't know. I've been trying to contact Glenn Han from the fire department. I'm not sure if he's in town or not, but I will have to make contact. But you know, it's been a busy week. We had our meeting on Monday night, and you know, trying to get little things straightened up, and so we've got a lot accomplished, I think, in 1 week. But there's a lot to be done. I'm really enthusiastic, but I was going to say, like, I was cautiously enthusiastic, optimistic, whatever. But I'm not. I really am excited about it. I think it's a good thing, and I think, you know, I think we can only build on something that's already got a real good foundation, hopefully. So.
The dates you got planned for the Sand and Sea, are they the same as usual, or?
Yeah, it's the last weekend in July. Now, I thought that was the last. The last 4 days in July was the last weekend in July, but actually I think it's the 29th, 30th, 31st, and I think Sunday is the 1st of August, but it's that weekend. Okay. So we got that done. And I also, I should mention, like normally the Sand and Sea Committee, they have the 2 $500 bingo games, and I think we'll be having those too, just to try to get a little bit of money in the pot to buy things that we need starting off with and stuff. But as you know, I came down, I think it was Tuesday maybe, to book a bingo for before Christmas, and there was nothing available. So tentatively, I booked 2 dates for after Christmas, but if something opens up before Christmas, we'd like to, have one then. If not, we'll see what happens after Christmas. And so yeah, it's been busy, but it's been exciting. So.
Oh, that's good. Anything else that you would like to add to us?
Not a whole lot at this time, I don't think. I guess I just like to, say to the town that, the Sand and Sea always had the support of the town, really, because no committee can pull off something like this without a lot of work on the town level. And I know the Lions and Lioness have always had the support of the community. So I'm just hoping that now that we've got the Lions and Lioness looking after the Sand and Sea, that the support will still be there. And I'm sure that we'll make mistakes, but we're certainly open to advice. Like I don't think that the first Sand and Sea Committee, I don't think they went through without making mistakes, and hopefully we'll have learned from some of their mistakes. So like I know Norm Strickland, he said that he would agree to be the treasurer, but only on the condition that at the end of the festival, he makes a complete and open report of exactly what monies came in and what monies went out and stuff like that. So people will know how we did and what things were a disaster and what things need to change or whatever. So I expect that after the festival, maybe it'll be Norm and myself, maybe it'll just be me, maybe it'll just be Norm, but somebody will be here in your studio reporting on the Sand and Sea, giving an update to the community, because we're just a committee, but the Sand and Sea Festival belongs to Burgeo. It belongs to this town. It's not ours. And like I say, I've already visited with the town council, and just let them know that we have the committee in place and looking for their support with like fireworks, because I didn't know that until now, but apparently the fireworks has always been the town's contribution, on Burgeo Day. So we like them to continue with that. We expect that they will. We don't see why they wouldn't. You know what I mean? So we'll make mistakes and like you say, learn from them. But if anybody's got any suggestions of something they'd like to see added, taken away, changed, if anybody's got anything that they want to do as part of Sand and Sea, by all means give us a call, and we're open to suggestions.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. I'm sure a lot of people are excited, looking forward to the new Sand and Sea.
Yes, well, I hope so. I just hope they're as glad as I am that it's not gone. That I think that would have been a disaster to let something like that go. So yeah, I hope so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Well, thanks for having this chance to spread the word, I guess. Okay, thanks, Maxine.
Thank you. This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.